So, what is the relation of this particular the term pyramid with the image is of course the question I am going to address here. As our subject is image processing, and what is the necessity, the significance there we are going to see here, and this will be quite the introductory so that we can start with the wavelet transformation, the very popular topic from our subject, or signal processing also you can go. So I first of all address the preview to this image. So here the document. For transmission and further analysis purpose of many of the images here, wavelet transformation is quite easier instead using the Fourier transformation here. Now as we see the analysis and details of this here, certain nature here. Comparatively, we have the wavelet transformation based on small waves. The name we refer to as wavelets here. And these wavelets are basically the functions, those are varying at the frequency and with somebody asked you what is the definition of wavelet, this simple statement duration is the enough information for the term wavelet. Now to describe this particular feature of the wavelet, we can have a look at the example here. So the example here where the wavelet transformation is providing the equivalent to the musical score of an image that also when to play them here. Now you see here along the frequency information, this particular mathematical tool is also providing the context of the time interval. So this important that transformations are providing, whereas the temporal information, temporal term is referring to temporal information is lost in the Fourier transformation process, but there are certain applications which require the knowledge of the temporal information as well as the frequency information. So that time, this is what the failure or the disadvantage of the Fourier transformation. Therefore, it was a need to have a design and development of another mathematical transformation tool which is capable to provide both the types of information, and that is provided by the wavelets. As we see the history of development into the knowledge transformation domain for signal processing in all, foundation of powerful new approach and what is known by the name multi-resolution theory, or sometimes also referred to as multi-resolution analysis, that was introduced by that is from the digital speech recognition domain. And now the third of today's topic, we shall be having more focus on that is pyramidal image processing here. Now, the simplest question to your mind will be, what is this MRA? Our topic is pyramidal image processing. See, pyramidal image processing is very, very necessary for understanding the multi-resolution theory or multi-resolution analysis. The multi-resolution analysis is basically concerned with the representations and analysis of the signals at more than one resolution, that is providing certain advantages for processing the information here. Now, the appeal of such an approach is quite obvious because the features that might go undetected at one resolution may be easily to spot at another resolution. That is why the popularity of multi-resolution analysis is there in our science and technology field here. When we see the images to be the signals here, these are basically the connected regions into the two-dimensional plane, having the similarity of the texture and in terms of the intensity, or you can also say the gray level, that combine to form the various objects. Those are a part of scenario that has been captured or recorded in the two-dimensional plane. Now, there are two different cases to discuss where the significance of multi-resolution analysis will be clear to you people. Now, we talk about the first case, if the objects are small into the size or they are low into the contrast here. So that time we normally examine whatever the scenario there it is at the high resolution to see the complete details here. Now, on the other hand, if we have the case to having the objects into the large contrast, so that time the better visualization and interpretation of the objects under that particular scenario will be preferred to store things. So that will be a requirement in the case here. Now, these are the two individual cases where we have limited the size of the objects or the contrast level either to low or high level here. Now, if there it is a situation where a combination of these two cases is there, so that is if both the small and the large objects in terms of the size or low and high contrast objects are placed simultaneously into the same scenario, here it is we have four values. The first row we have the representation of intensity labels as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. I will just want to left to the first. For the second row, we have it like 5, 6, 7, 8. In the third row, 9, 10, 11, 12. And at the last fourth row, we have and the order from the operator. In the group, we made it. Now, the problem system also continues suggesting to use step by step of assessment aggregation procedure or approximation feature in the procedure. Feature is also accompanied here, and here the assumption is also suggested for the interpolation feature to be removed from the original block schematic that we have learned. So here it is what the figure in the problem section here. So you can start at the left hand side where label G is there in the page. We have the two parts, one to the approximation feature followed by the down sample here. Again the two parts, one is giving the label J minus the approximation and another branch that is having the interpolation by factor 2 interpolation feature. So in this problem statement, this particular state is suggested to be removed here. That is provided this prediction to be subtracted from the origin input image here to produce the label J prediction residue here. Now let us solve this particular problem. Now the answer to this particular problem shall be like where we are suggested to have the use of neighborhood average distance. It is going to produce the mean type of the image here. So here we have the two types here. One is the mean approximation pyramid and another as stated in the problem statement that is the mean type of the prediction residual pyramid. So first of all we shall do to obtain a mean approximation pyramid here. So it can be formed by forming the 2 by 2 block averages estimated in the problem. So as we see for the input image sample that is having the 4 rows in column, the order here we can use as 4 by 4 here. As the typical structure just now we have visualized here, so this is nothing but capital J is equal to 2 and here whatever the image sample by f of x comma y is placed into the label 2 of the mean approximation pyramid. So here we have level 0 to level 2 here. Level 2 here we have. So level 1 is not here. So level 1 can be obtained by just performing the approximation by taking the 2 by 2 block averages over the given image sample f of x comma y here and further subsampling. So as you see the input image sample, the first row is having the elements 1, 2, 3, 4. Second row 5, 6, 7, 8. So to obtain the first element, that it means the first row and first column element into the level 1 approximation to be represented, that will be of the half order the previous representation here. The previous is of the 4 by 4. Here it will be of 2 by 2 here. So the first element will be the averaging of the elements 1, 2 and 5, 6 here. So 1 plus 2 is equal to 3. Added to 5 it will be 8. Added to 6 it will be equal to 14 here. And the 4 elements are here. So averaging as it is. So this summation has to be divided by 4 here. So 14 divided by 4 here, it will give us 8.5. When we are going to compute the value of the second element into the same row here, so it will be the summation of 3 plus 4 plus 7 plus 8 here, that is also to be divided by 4 here. So 3 plus 4 is equal to already 7 plus 7, it will be equal to 14 added to 8, so it becomes 22 divided by 4. So this is giving us the answer 5.5. So in this way, as we carry out the averaging for the neighborhood of the dimensions 2 by 2, we get the level 1 approximation denoted by this particular matrix, where the first two elements are 3.5, 5.5, and the second two elements are denoted by 11.5, 13.5 here. Now we have the label 2 already given in the problem statement. Level 1 we have computed here. Now we require the level 0 here. So level 0, again we have to make the approximation by opting the averaging here. So in the level 1 that you visualize here, again when we make the average of the four elements here, it will be the matrix of the order 1 by 1. That will be the peak of or the apex of the image pyramid here. So when you add 3.5 with 5.5 with 11.5 finally with 13.5 and divide the summation by 4 here, you get the approximation. So this is what the level 0 approximation, and that will be equal to having the matrix with only one element, and that value is equal to 8.5 here. So the complete representation of the mean approximation value of the pyramid here you can visualize here. So on the left hand side there is the level 2 representation with level image example as it is. At the middle there is the level 1 approximation, and finally the 8.5 is the only element in the representation that just now we have obtained by averaging the elements of the level 1 here. So here it completes the half portion of the problem statement here. Half portion is left here. Now we shall have a focus on the corresponding prediction residual pyramid for the given image sample here. So as we see, there are no interpolation filtering procedure to be specified in this particular problem statement here. It has to be also removed as suggested here. The pixel replication is used in the generation of the mean prediction residual pyramid labels here. So as we require the three levels, level 0, level 1 and level 2 here. Level 0 of the prediction residual pyramid is the lowest resolution approximation, and it is having of the order 1 by 1 here. The element value is 8.5 here. Now there it is, the level 2, that is the prediction residual, and it is obtained by upsampling the level 1 approximation and subtracting it from the level 2, that is the original image here. Now if we carry out this particular procedure, there has to be first of all the replication and then the procedure of subtraction here, because the subtraction can be carried out into the matrices. Those are of the same dimensions here. So here on the left hand side here, we first of all take the given image sample matrix of the order 4 by 4 here. So the four rows are as like 1, 2, 3, 4, the first four elements of the first row here, followed by in the second row here we obtain 5, 6, 7, 8, the third row by the elements 9, 10, 11, 12, and the last row 13, 14, 15, 16 here. So here we are making the subtraction from this particular matrix, where the matrix here we form with the same order 4 by 4, where we keep 3.5 at the 4 places, 5.5 at the 4 places, 11.5 similarly at the 4 places, and 13.5 also at the remaining 4 places here. So the first row is 3.5, 3.5, 5.5, 5.5. Second row is the same, similar one. The third row is 11.5, 11.5, 13.5, 13.5, and the last row is also very similar to it here. Now this subtraction is giving us the matrix representation, where we have the first row minus 2.5, minus 1.5, minus 2.5, minus 1.5. Second row 1.5, 2.5, 1.5, 2.5. Third row minus 2.5, minus 1.5, minus 2.5, minus 1.5. And the last row the positives 1.5, 2.5, 1.5, 2.5 here. So in the similar fashion, here the level 1 prediction residual can also be obtained by upsampling the level 0 approximation here. Here the subtraction can be made for it from the level 1 approximation. So this will be yielding us the outcome that is represented. The subtraction of the first matrix here 3.5, 5.5, 11.5, 13.5, the order is 2 by 2. The subtraction we are making from this one and here the another matrix which is to be subtracted is formed by all the elements with the value 8.5 here. So this is going to result into the matrix holding the order 2 by 2. The first two elements are minus 5, minus 3. Second two elements are 3, 5 here. Now the mean prediction residual pyramid completely here we can write down as we have the first matrix of the order 4 by 4 minus 2.5 minus 1.5 minus 2.5 minus 1.5. Then we have 1.5 to presented with the element first row minus 5 minus 3. The next row 3 5 and the fifth here is represented as 8.5 here. So here the answer to the given problem statement is provided here by obtaining whatever the procedure we have learned so far for construction of the image pyramids here by selecting the proper filtering stages here. Here we can have the variation in construction of the image pyramids for the different types here. So this was one of the sample problem. You can also practice the different sample problems by just having the variation into the inputs and the conditions for the filtering procedures here. Now, by the next session, I will be addressing the wavelet transformation here. So, for understanding the wavelet transformation, I feel it is necessary to have the knowledge of the wavelet development from Morlet to Daubechies via Mallet here. So, that information I will definitely share with you people in the next session. I hope you have enjoyed the session. If you have any doubts, you can ask me related to this particular topic. We have gone through the several of the topics for the image processing. The fundamental steps are very popular, and also I have taken the practicals with respect to the various tasks of the image processing. Those videos are also available at the Ekeeda platform. So if there are any doubts, I can address to, or in the next session you can join and you can raise your doubts so that I will provide the clarifications. Thank you.